Hi, welcome to Talk Back Live, a show that gets you involved in live conversation and sports with Brian Camp on Sports Update, bringing you the latest developments in today's world of sports. And now here's your host, Frank Allan.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a pleasant night to each and every one of you in your different time zones around the world and across the country. Here we are once again, another Thursday. It's 8 p.m. on the East Coast, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. It's Friday morning now in London at 1 a.m. and Friday morning also in Tokyo, Japan, and it's 9 a.m. over there. Hi, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Talk Back Live. This is our Thursday evening edition. And we're here every Thursday at this time. We're coming to you live from New York. That's where we originate. And each week we get together, we have conversation, and we suggest that you join in too. And how you can do that, I'm going to tell you how to do it. First of all, as the host of the show, I get things rolling by throwing out the conversation, getting the format going, and so we get a certain point. And as we go through all of that, while you're listening to all of that, you can chime in and say hello. And if by chance you want to join in conversation and you have something that you want to talk about in particular to add into the conversation, we'll be glad to talk about it. All you have to do is just type it in there and I'll see you right there on the big screen. I will acknowledge you and we'll get the ball rolling. We're a place where we trade suggestions and ideas. It's free exchange and open ideas together. And of course, all of you together right now. Tell your friends about it because you ought to know that we're coming from 3 different places at this particular time. We're live on Facebook, we're on Instagram, also live on YouTube too. YouTube, yeah. And so with that in mind, all of you who are watching us in these different areas, especially if you guys are watching us on Facebook, what we want you to do is take the time right now while we're getting started and moving along, and you can tag this show to your friends. It's possible you can do that. And of course, when they see the notification, they'll know it's from you. They'll click onto it and it'll bring them directly to us. And if they like what they see and if they like what they hear, maybe they'll become regulars just like you. But you got to get them all in. Get as many as possible. Now, you may have 1,000 and some odd friends and you can't tag them all, but that's okay. Just as many as possible, even one. Whatever. Your best friends, the ones that you think may be interested, just tag them along and bring them in because they'll see you, they'll see me, and everyone else who will come in the room too. Now, if you're watching us on YouTube, I always encourage you to subscribe to my YouTube channel. You're right there. All you have to do is just take your little mouse and place it right there where it says subscribe, press it, click, and you're right in there. Just as simple as that. And the best part about that is that there are no fees, no charges, no nothing. Just press it and you're in like Flint. That's all it takes. And, the benefit of having you as a member and a subscriber to our YouTube channel is that whenever we come on live or we so much as post a video, you will get notification if you're online to see it. And then all you have to do is just tag on to that information, that notification, and it brings you right to the YouTube channel. Because a lot of people, they watch the show, and sometimes you may be at a particular point where you're busy and you're on the computer, you're doing this and that, and when the notification pops up, there's your reminder right there. All you have to do is click onto it. So that's how it goes. And for the rest of you guys who are watching us on Instagram, all you have to do is just keep in touch with us by following us all the time and tell your friends and family about us. Keep the word percolating. Get that word out there that we're on the air each week at this time on Thursday. And so in conjunction with getting together with you as we do our regular routine as well. Of course, we have in just a few moments from now, Brian Camp is going to be along with us. He's coming direct from Charlotte, North Carolina. It's true. We can link up with him from New York to Charlotte. And we're going to get together and see him. He's going to come on live here on the show, and he's going to bring us the latest developments in today's world of sports. That's Sports Update. That's the name of the show. And of course, he'll give us all the information of the sports of the day, and we'll see what's happening with that. And those of you who are sports fans, this will be your opportunity to check it out. You may have questions for him while he's here about sports, anything. He's very knowledgeable about that, and he'll be here providing all that information too. Also, later in the program, I have what we call This Day in History, all the events that took place on this day in history from way back when. We're going to get as much information as possible and relay that to you. That's coming up too. And before the show is all over, I have those movies that you like, my picks of the week for your weekend, for movies that you may want to watch and catch up with. Well, I'm going to add a few more to that to your bucket list so you get a chance to check it out. And we hope that you like them. I know you're going to like them if you like those classic movies. So it's all my picks of the week, and we'll have all of that coming for you. It's all right here. Remember that all of the views and the expressions and the ideas expressed on this show, Talkback Live, does not necessarily reflect the view or the opinion of the people of Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Zoom, and all of those other marvelous publications, those places that you go on social media, all of those places that we broadcast, and even the broadcast channels, does not necessarily reflect the view of the opinions of all those people. So now that we got that out of the way, let's get the show started. We thank you so much for being along. We're still in spring, and before you know it, summer will be along. And I got to tell you something. The weather, I don't know about where you are, because weather conditions are different from city to city, from country to country. And on the other side of the globe, they're experiencing winter. And on this side of the globe, we're into summer or spring or coming up to summer. And it depends. But I know here on this side of the globe where the weather is supposed to be warmer, we had a cool day today. And prior to all of those days, we had weather temperatures going up to the 70s and the 80s. And we were in our short sleeves, and some people wearing shorts and just having a good time and thinking it was all there. But just for some reason, for the past couple of days, we reached temperatures in the 60s. And it's going to be like that until we get around to the weekend. Now, when the weekend comes around, temperatures will go up. But the problem is here in New York, we're going to get a little rain, but we'll tell you more about that later. And we'll check out all of that coming up. And so there you go. And I know that you're going to be looking forward to summer because that's the outdoor activity season. And you'll be doing outdoor barbecues. You'll be going to the beach. You know, that's your favorite, right? The beach. And you go out there and you check out all of the people, the beautiful people who are beach goers, I should say. And of course, you'll hit the movie theaters, which has a lot of air conditioning and a whole lot of things going on. So, and you'll be traveling too. A lot of people will be traveling too for the summer vacation as well. But whatever you're going to do, please do it safely. It's good to know that we're in a time right now where it's a little more safe than what it was before. As you already know, we are still under that pandemic. Don't let it fool you. We're still there. However, we're still able to do normal things as we couldn't do before. And that means traveling as well, going on flights and trains and buses where we couldn't do before. You had to wear your mask in full gear. And so all of that is kind of finished now. And in case you didn't know, that the global emergency is all over. That's all over. So that's all declared and it's all over. So we're getting back slowly but surely. But keep in mind that we still have a little bit of things going on in the air. You might want to avoid that thing, because I know here in New York and probably in some other cities too as well, they have those tents still filled up where you can take the COVID examination. You know, you still have, they're free. And I understand now that the pandemic is practically over. I say practically over because it's not completely over yet. We're a little more relaxed with it, but it's not completely over yet. They still have the tents outdoors here in New York. I know that for a fact. They have little tents and people are waiting around for people who might want to take the test. So everything is still available to all of you. And just stay safe, and, you know, that's all you have to do. Just stay safe. Well, we're here, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you once again. And just in case you're just walking in, I want to say hi to all of you guys who are watching us on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Instagram too. Thank you for being along with us. If you have anything that you want to say in particular, please feel free. It's open forum, free exchange of ideas and opinions. It's right here. Yeah, I was checking, and I've heard the news, but I don't hear too much about it anymore. Remember when they were talking about Jamie Foxx, comedian Jamie Foxx, Well, Jamie Foxx, they had a situation out there with Jamie Foxx was in the hospital and he wasn't doing very well. And we didn't know how. When I first got that news, when I first arrived at that news, I didn't want to talk about it only because of the fact that I didn't know how true or false it was. You know how sometimes when you go on social media, and of course it happens a lot, where someone is really sick and, they're close to death doors, and, it never really happened. Because I remember a long time ago, when the first time this happened, when they had a story about Morgan Freeman, they said that he was dead, and it wasn't true. And people were going on social media, posting on their Facebook and on the other social media outlets, that Morgan Freeman was dead, and he wasn't. And there was a time when they had when Henry Winkler, he was supposed to have been dead. Ellen DeGeneres was dead. A lot of people. So the point I'm trying to make is that when I get information like that, I want to make sure it's on the up and up, and I can usually tell when the social media floods their sympathies to everyone, right? And I don't even take that as gospel. Then I go on to a legitimate website, maybe like CNN or some legitimate news outlet like that, and catch and see if it's true, because that's usually gospel. And then I check it out then, and then I'll say something about it. But with Jamie Foxx, I know he wasn't. They said that he wasn't feeling good. They said that he was in the ICU. He was on life support. And then I heard another story. Martin Lawrence. They were interviewing him. They said that he was doing good, and still didn't know what to make of it, because there was no confirmation of the story at that particular time. And now they're saying that he's out of the hospital, and it was supposed to be said by his daughters. His daughters put out the information that he's home, he's recovering. So that's how it stands now. He's recovering. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to be honest with you. I really still don't know what the issue is and how true this story is. They're just saying this, but it didn't make a lot of news medias. I didn't hear a lot about it. So I'm going to take it at the word. And if you know anything about it, maybe you know more than I do about it. Jamie Foxx, they say he's home now, recovering, and he's doing well. That's the last piece of news I got on Jamie Foxx. And I hope that's really true. So if you know any more about that, please let me know. I really would appreciate it if you did that. That would be great to know. So, but we keep our prayers open for Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx happens to be a great talent, a great comedian, great talent, and a great, I would say, character actor. And he played a hell of a Ray Charles in that movie, Ray. If you haven't seen that, then well, it's kind of old now, but I'm pretty sure you've seen it. But if you haven't seen it, I'm pretty sure you can go on demand somewhere. I'm pretty sure it may be up there. You have to check it out. But he played a great Ray Charles. And the story about when Jamie said that he played Ray Charles, he had to study Ray Charles. So before Ray Charles passed away, he lived with Ray Charles for a while. And while he was living with him, he studied his mannerisms and his tone of voice and how he was speaking, and he got the part. And when they dressed him up, they put the glasses and all of the costumes that we know Ray Charles to wear, especially back in the 60s, dressed him up in that, and he looked just like Ray Charles. And so he's a great actor, a great comedian. And again, I really wish him well, and hope everything is okay in that department. I'm not going to linger too much on this stuff because I'm getting sick and tired of it, but you heard about the situation about Ron DeSantis, right? Well, he signed a bill to defund diversity programs. You know what that means, ladies and gentlemen? That means he want to get rid of programs with history, with important history, like programs of the Holocaust and slavery and things that relate to a history like that. Important history. Very important history. That makes me think, what is he going to do about these Black museums that display all of these histories that people are open to go to. They pay their fee to go to and check it out. What are they going to do? What is it? Is that his next move? It's going to be hard to do, but I like to see him try it. And then what about the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C.? What is he going to do about that? But then he's in Florida, so I don't think he can touch those things. He's in Florida, but I guess he's just talking about in his state of Florida how he wants to do away with all of these things. It's crazy. It's crazy. But I didn't want to linger on that too long. But again, I want to thank you guys for being with us. And just in case you just tiptoeing through the tulips in here, the name of the show is called Talk Back Live. I am Frank Allan. I'm going to be with you for the next hour. Right now, I want to make a little transition right now. I want to go over to Charlotte, North Carolina, as I promised you, because this is the part of the show where you get sports information. If you like sports, here's the man that has all of the goods for you. Brian Camp, coming out of Charlotte, North Carolina, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. Do you or do you not have that information?
What information is that? I'm sorry, I was distracted for a moment. Oh yeah, I got some sports. Yeah,
I wasn't even listening.
not much. No, it was just checking out the weather. It is raining out here. 2 hours ago, it started coming down hard, which is a good thing. We needed some rain to wild grass and our flowers. So, but it is raining.
Temperatures. Where are you as far as your temperatures are concerned? Because we got chilly here today.
62 degrees. Today the high was around 75.
Okay.
But it's 62 degrees now.
We didn't go higher than 61 today.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's a funny, May is a funny month,
Yeah.
May is a funny month, and depending on where you live in any parts of the country or around the world, in fact, but, that's where we're at right now. I believe that the weather will get eventually warm. It's that time of the year soon. And just enjoy the weather,
Well, they used to say that March was the month where it roars in like a lion and comes out like a lamb. In other words, stormy weather, and then by the time the end of March come around, then the weather lightens up. But it's a different kind of a climate. It's a climate change. That's what it is.
Yeah, they say April brings showers and May comes in with flowers, So that's where we're at right now. But yeah, so some strange weather, but hope everybody's doing well today. We're approaching the weekend, is Thursday, and not much to really talk about except for this thing that happened last Sunday with this basketball player, Ja Morant. Last Sunday, the Memphis superstar was suspended and from all off-season activities, depending on the league's office review of the video that surfaced over last weekend, less than 2 months ago, that after Morant met with Adam Silver, who was the commissioner of the NBA, to discuss a similar incident that resulted in an 8th-game suspension. There's a lot of controversial stuff that was saying over the sports shows that he should be suspended. With all these gun laws that's going around, with all these shootings and mass shootings with schools and malls and theaters, and and this young man, he's 23 years old. He's making millions and millions of dollars, and many people would love to switch places with him, but he's being careless. And a lot of people from one side says, he didn't commit no crime. He didn't commit a crime, but he's been pulling out his gun and spreading it out on social media. He knows he made a mistake. He said it again. He apologized again. But at some point, what's going to happen if something really happens to this young man? I wish nothing would happen to him. Wish him the best. But as a 23-year-old, there comes a time that you are that you're the face of the league, one of the faces of the NBA, and you got to use better sense. I mean, what kind of company are you keeping? Your real friends will tell you, hey, put that away. Hire a bodyguard. That's what they get paid for. You taking out a gun and putting it on social media, you're putting yourself not only in danger, but you're putting other people's lives in danger. I mean, what are you showing that off for? Well, right now we don't know what's going to happen. Some people say he should have a 40-game suspension. Some say he should be out for the whole year. But again, he did not commit a crime.
Was he drinking? He was at a party, wasn't he?
So the last time he wasn't drinking. He was just being around some of his friends. Again, this is a young superstar, but he's just flashing his gun on social media. Now that we live in a world of social media, you could have got away with this many years ago, but social media catches everything. Video cameras are everywhere. Taking pictures are everywhere. So you got to be smart. So, but we will find out more as the upcoming weeks occur. In the NFL, a group led by Josh Harris, and the co-owner of the NBA Philadelphia 76ers and the NHL New Jersey Devils, have reached an agreement to buy the Washington Commanders of the NFL from owners Dan and Tanya Snyder. That's a husband and wife who own the team. The group agreed to pay a record $6.05 billion for the team. So Daniel Snyder's been under the microscope. He's been accused of uncomfortable environment with employees, making sexist remarks and racial remarks. So he's out. He was more like forced to sell his team, and deservingly so. So that's where we at right now. This day in sports, May 18th, the Philadelphia Athletics rout the Detroit Tigers 24-2. Sound like a football score. Tigers use amateurs to protest at Ty Cobb's suspension. This is when back in 1912, Ty Cobb was suspended for various things. 1933, first Major League Baseball All-Star game announced for July 6th at Comiskey Park to be played at the Chicago's World's Fair. 1942, New York City ends night baseball games for the rest of World War II. 1956, Mickey Mantle hits his home run, hits a home run on both sides of the plate for a record third time. 1972, baseball player John Sebastian makes 63 consecutive free throws while blindfolded. Basketball player. That's incredible. That's really incredible. Blindfolded and you're shooting free throws. You sure he didn't lift it up or had like one of those see-through masks? But he did it. 63 consecutive free throws while blindfolded. Birthdays. There's an old timer here. Happy birthday to the late 1924 Jack Whitaker, American sportscaster for ABC and CBS, was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 1937, Brooks Robinson, Major League Baseball Hall of Famer, born in Little Rock, Arkansas. 1946, one of my favorite baseball idols, Reggie Jackson, was born in 1941 in Wine County, Pennsylvania. Remember the Reggie bars? So delicious. I used to love those Reggie bars. And in 1983, Vince Young, NFL quarterback, was born in Houston, Texas. And ladies and gentlemen, that is sports on a very rainy and chilly night here in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Yeah, well, we had enough of the chill here. We're going to get warmer weather, I guess, by the time the weekend come around, but we'll get a little rain to go along with that. You heard about superstar Billy Graham, right?
No, I did not.
He passed away. You didn't hear about that?
I did not hear about that at all, no. When was this?
According to what I see here, he passed away yesterday. Now, I got to be honest with you. He was so out of sight, out of mind. I thought he was dead a long time ago.
There's a possibility that I thought he had died a long time ago too.
Yeah.
He was, as many may not know, he was a wrestler back in the day, and he died yesterday, May 17th, 2023. He
Yeah.
was born in Paradise Valley, Arizona. Yeah. Did they say the cause of death?
No, I didn't get that. But I was watching wrestling last night, and they mentioned it through passing. They were mentioning it. Billy, superstar Billy Graham passed away. Now I was thinking maybe they were going back in history, something like that. Because, like I said, I already thought he was gone. I am so sorry that I was not informed, but I thought he was gone. And when I heard that on TV, and I didn't really pay that much attention, but when I went online, I saw it a couple of times.
Yeah, he beat the great Bruno Sammartino for the Worldwide Wrestling Federation title back in the 70s and the 80s.
Yeah.
And his real name is Eldridge Wayne Coleman. That's his real name. Better known as Superstar Billy Graham. Yeah, he was one of the first flamboyant wrestlers who spoke his mind, along with the famous Dusty Rhodes and so many great wrestlers back then. Wow.
He was
Legend.
He was the man of the hour, the man with the power, too sweet to be sour.
To be sour, yeah. I remember that.
He was flamboyant. I think he was like the first one that I can remember, and then Randy Savage came along, and all of these other guys. But yeah, I didn't want to say too much about it because there wasn't too much said about it. But then when I heard it on wrestling last night, and then when I saw it online today, and then when I saw it on Facebook, I said, I don't pay attention to the gossip on Facebook that much.
I know. Yeah.
I read it, and then I go do my own research. And so I will go to one of the reputable outlets, and there it was. It was right there.
He was battling something, I know, with the steroids. A lot of these wrestlers was taking something back in the day, and still even today. I mean, some kind of supplements. And I don't know how that contribute, but I know that, when you take these drugs, you don't know what you're putting into your system, and it would cause a problem down the line.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if he wound up in a wheelchair later. There were so many of them, but there was one wrestler just wound up in a wheelchair because he was taking continuous steroid shots.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Superstar Billy Graham or whatever. It's lost so much weight. And that's what
he did lose the weight. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that was it. Maybe it wasn't the death part of it. Maybe I kind of misconstrued the death with his condition in the wheelchair. Maybe that was it, but I thought he was gone. But I guess
sometimes you have side effects too. You just don't know what kind of side effects you might have.
Yeah. Hey, one of the other wrestlers, Chris, there's another wrestler, Chris Benoit. Chris Benoit was a great wrestler. He was a great wrestler. And I guess it got to him so bad that he killed his wife and his son, and then he killed himself. You probably heard about that.
I never heard of that wrestler before. No, I never heard of him before.
You probably don't watch wrestling as much, do you?
Not like I used to.
Yeah.
I used to follow wrestling as, in my early years.
Yeah.
The NWA, the AWA, the Worldwide Wrestling Federation.
Yeah.
It's wrestling's changed now.
Well, it's to the kids out there, the younger kids who are sports people, who are athletes. I think this is probably a lesson that you should learn: to stay off of it. Don't try to get an edge, because it only, that situation is temporary. I mean, you look at I look at some of these wrestlers today, right? These guys are big, huge, bulky, and not only they have huge body mass, but their heads get bigger.
Oh yeah, they sure do. And it's just amazing how these wrestlers just have to be in this situation where they want to keep their muscle mass intact, because this is what they do for a living. They wrestle. They're wrestlers.
Yeah, I was talking to my cardiologist just the other day. I went, had my appointment with him. I always stay on top of that. And I told him, hey, guess what? You're gonna be happy. I'm back in the gym now, And I said, but I do a different routine. I don't do it like I did before. I'm not going to lift 400 pounds of weight, bench pressing. I'm going to leave that to the young guys. But I do the treadmill. I do the treadmill and the bicycle. And he said, hey, yeah, I like that. That's great. He says, are you doing weights? I said, I'm doing weights, but I'm not doing the heavy weights. I'm doing light weights. Just want to tone up. I said, I don't have to look like a football player or a wrestler. I just want to be toned. I just want to look good.
That's it. Yeah,
that's it.
That's it.
So again, to all of you young people out there, keep that in mind. And the baseball, because they went to all of the Major League Baseball teams and clean that up.
Yeah, the PEDs, the performance enhancement drugs.
Yeah.
You get caught once, that's a suspension. You get caught again, that's another suspension. If you get caught a third time, then you're out for good.
I'm pretty sure they're sneaking it on the side, some of them, but they're not going to tell you,
No, they're not going to tell you. No, not at all.
Well, anyway, so you're back here tomorrow, right?
I should be back here tomorrow. Right now, it seems like I'm clear for 10:20. If there's any change, of course, I will let you know ahead of time.
That'll be great. That'll be great. Okay, until then, we'll catch you then.
All right, take care now.
All right, take care of yourself. That's Brian Camp, ladies and gentlemen, with the latest developments in today's world of sports on Sports Update. He comes to you each week at this time. And great conversation, right? I learned from him a lot too, sports. Now, I'm a sports guy, but I'm not an expert on sport. And you could ask me anything about entertainment, like radio and TV or something like that, or maybe music. I got it. I'm a historian when it comes to that. But when it comes to sports, Brian is the man, and that's why he's here. So he's here every week at this time. He'll be here tomorrow too on the coffee hour, so you can check him out then. And I'm sorry, those of you who are watching us on Instagram, you didn't get a chance to see him. I should have warned you about that in case you're here for the first time. You didn't get a chance to see him. You only heard him. That's because we don't get a chance, and we're not with Instagram. They're not designed for us to be able to bring you split screen or, show you our other party that we interact with as well. But you only get a chance to see that on Facebook and YouTube. But we're glad you're here with us. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live, and we're going to be with you until the top of the hour. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. And not too far away in the show, we're going to bring you all of those great movies I was telling you about. Movies, Turner Classic Movies. That's my pick of the week. And, if you're on the weekend circuit, which all of us will be in just a couple of days, you'll get a chance to do whatever you want to do. But if you want to add a little movie watching to your schedule for the weekend, I'm going to add a few more movies for you on that. So thank you so much for being along with us. Well, it's that time. It's that time, as promised. It's this day in history. Historians, listen to this. On this day in history, starting in 1860, the U.S. Republican Party nominates Abraham Lincoln for president. On this day in history, in 1934, Trans World Airline, also known as TWA, begins commercial service. On this day in history, in 1953, American Jacqueline Cochran becomes the first woman to break the sound barrier. On this day in history, in 1959, Castin' My Spell by the Johnny Otis Show hits number 52 on the charts. Back in 1965, WTAF-TV, Channel 29 in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, independent station, begins their broadcast. Back in 1970, the Beatles' last release LP was Let It Be. That was released here in the United States at that time, back in 1970. And the following year, US President Richard Nixon rejects 60 demands on Congressional Black Caucus. And 1972, American pop rock band Looking Glass released their single Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. What a good life you would be. 1978, Italy legalizes abortion. Back in 1980, People's Republic of China launches its first intercontinental rocket. And back in 1986, Singing in the Rain closes at the Gershwin Theater in New York City after 367 performances. In 2008, the 43rd Academy of Country Music Awards go to Kenny Chesson. That's Kenny Chesney, Kenny Chesney. That's what I read. And also to Brad Priestley and Carrie Underwood. Film director Frank Capra was born on this day in 1876. And he was born in Italy. He died September 3rd, 1991 at the age of 94 years old. In 1911, Big Joe Turner, American blues singer, known for his big hit Carina Carina and Shake, Rattle, and Roll. He was born in Kansas City, Missouri, and he died in 1985. Back in 1912, singer Perry Como was born in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania. He died 2001. And Pope John Paul II was born on this day in 1920 in Widowince, Poland, and he died April 2nd, 2005 at the age of 84 years old. In 1922, musician Kai Winding was born in Denmark, and he passed away in 1983. He was big in the 60s, so those of you who are younger may not remember him. In 1924, actress Priscilla Pointer, who played in Carrie and Mommy Dearest, was born in New York City. She's 99 years old today. God bless her. In 1928, actor Pernell Robbins, who played Adam on Bonanza, one of the Cartwright boys. He also played Trapper John, MD. He was born in Waycross, Georgia, and he died 2010. In 1934, actor Dwayne Hickman, who was famous for his role in The Many Lives of Dobie Gillis, was born in Los Angeles, California. He died not too long ago. As a matter of fact, he died near 2022. In 1949, jazz pianist Jim Neely was born in Chicago, Illinois, and he's 74 years old today. Happy birthday. In 1951, actress, comedian Denny Dillon was born on this day. She was born in Cleveland, Ohio. She turned 72 years old today. Actress, comedian Tina Fey was born on this day in 1970. She was born in Upper Darby Township, Pennsylvania. She's 53 years old today. You probably remember her from Saturday Night Live. In 2003, actress Rennie Sofer was director and producer Sanford Bookstaver, and they got married in Malibu, California. Now, she was also a soap opera actress as well. In the year 2017, make that, I say 20, but in this case is 2007, the year 2007, singer Amy Winehouse, Webb's former video production assistant, Blake Fielder Civil. They got married in Miami, California. In 1990, actress Jill Ireland, she was married to Charles Bronson. She dies of cancer at the age of 54 years old. Actress Elizabeth Montgomery. I can't do it the way she does it. She played, Samantha on Bewitched, right? She died on this day in 1995 at the age of 62 years old from colon cancer. She was born April 15th, 1933 in Los Angeles, California. In 2004, jazz drummer Elton Jones dies of a heart attack, heart failure at the age of 76. And finally, in 2014, singer Jerry Vale dies at the age of 83 years old. That's this day in history. That's this day in history. And if you know anything that's happening in this day in history right now and that I don't know about, I want to get wind of it too. So all you have to do is let me know, type it in there, and that'll help me out a lot, and I'll relay it to everyone else. And so the beat goes on. Here we are once again, and it's coming up to, it's now 23 minutes past the hour, right? We've got 21 minutes to go. It's, I say it's 39 minutes past the hour. We have 21 minutes to go in the program. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. The name of the show is called Talk Back Live. I am Frank Allen. I am your host, and of course, I'm going to be with you up until the top of the hour. We're so glad to have you aboard with us. as usual. And I hope that you're making your plans for the weekend. I hope it's a good weekend for you. I hope the weather is looking good for you as well. I hope all of that is great. We'll see about that. As I always do, I would love to talk to you. If you have anything to say, I would love to hear from you. But those of you who decline that invitation, that's okay too, just as long as you're out there. A lot of people just like to sit back. I call those the passive viewers. They just like to watch and listen and understand, and I respect that. But you may not want to talk to me live. Excuse me. You may not want to talk to me live, but you may have a question or you want to talk to me through other sources. I have an email address and I have a telephone number as well. And all you have to do is contact me through those two sources. I will first give you my email address, which is frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. Spell Allan, A-L-L-A-N. That's an important part of the thing, because if you spell it any different from that, you'll never get through. That's Frank Allen Prod, A-L-L-A-N, and Prod is P-R-O-D. That's short for productions. frankallenprod@aol.com. That's frankallenprod@aol.com. The telephone number, you're waiting for that? Here it goes. 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Now, you may have some questions about the show. You want to know more about the show? We'll tell you about the show. You have any suggestions and ideas you think we might or we should implement in the show? We always listen to you. That's what you're all about. You're right there, and we listen to you, because if you're not there, we're not here, right? So if you have any conversation or suggestions or ideas, or if you want to see someone on the show and you think we can get them on the show, feel free to tell you more about it. We'll try our best to do that, because we like to listen to you. And even if you just want to say hi, or if you want to critique the show, because we're thick-skinned. We have open minds. We listen to you, because you would help us do better if you just tell us about it. Just be nice about it, though, right? That's all you have to do. Okay, let me give you that email address once again. The email address is frankallenprod@aol.com. Again, that's frankallenprod@aol.com. Or call me at 641-715-3900, extension 467134. That's 641-715-3900, extension 467134. Get it together. Oh, guys, thank you so much for being along. You know, they're still talking about that town hall. You know, I mean, I as far as I'm concerned, it's over. It's done. You know, it's all over. But people in the news are still talking about it, because they just won't let it go. And people are still talking about the events of that and other events that should be wrapped up and call it a day. But they did say something interesting that I wanted to bring to you that probably a lot of you guys didn't know. I certainly didn't know. First of all, you already know, just to bring you up to date, they criticized CNN, not so much the moderator, Caitlin Collins, who I thought, given what she was given, did a good job and handled herself very well. Although she was criticized a lot too, but they did a lot of criticizing to CNN as a whole, because of the fact they gave 345/666 Beast and Connor a platform, and they couldn't understand why. Now, when I first heard about it, I said, you know, why are they giving him a platform when this is supposed to be, according to him, the fake news, right? But they gave him the platform, and he was there. And the thing that I didn't know, though, that they brought out later, is that the audience, which happened to have been a whole Republican audience, they were all Republicans. Now, most town halls, they have like a mixed bag, even though they may separate them, one side and the other side, Republicans and the Democrats, you know, so it would be fair game. But these are all Republicans. Now, what I didn't know is that those people in the audience were coached. They were told that you can applaud, You could applaud, but you can't boo. And they told them that. Now, the only people that can tell them that are the people, the producers or whoever are connected to CNN, because they were hosting the show. And they were told that they could applaud, but they can't boo. So that didn't really make it a really official audience, I guess, audience ambiance, but I did notice one thing, that the people who were doing the hand clapping for all of those crazy reasons, for all of those corny jokes and all of those insults, they were doing the hand clapping. I noticed there were some that just sat there. Now, those are the ones I'm pretty sure if they were allowed to at that particular point, they probably would have booed, but they just sat there with their arms folded, and you could see the expression on their faces. So everyone there weren't, even though they were all Republicans, all the Republicans there weren't really, looking, I don't think they wanted to be there after a while. After 15 minutes, I don't think they wanted to be there. But they knew what was going down. CNN knew what was going down, and they just gave them a platform anyway. So that's what happened. That was the thing that I wanted to tell you about. They were coached. So that's not fair game. That's not fair game. What do you want to do? Okay, just in case you're just joining us, we're coming up to the bewitching hour where we're going to wrap it up, and we're going to wrap it up pretty soon. So stand by with us. And again, those of you who feel free, you want to talk about something, feel free to join in our conversation. Even if you want to have a rebuttal, or if you have a question about sports, I can relay all of those questions to Brian. He's not here now. I can relay all of those questions to him, and then he'll have those answers for you when you join us tomorrow. We'll be here at 10 o'clock for the coffee hour. Now, I was posed a question early during the week, and I had a conversation about it, even with someone today, about show business. A lot of people want to get into show business, and we were talking earlier, Brian and I, all of us, you heard us, we were talking about sports, and I'm advising you, and I try to advise young people to do the right thing, because the right thing will keep you on the right track. And I was talking about the steroids. You want to stay away from that. But a lot of people are talking about, they want to get into show business. Young people want to get into show business for whatever capacity, whether it's radio, TV, or maybe they want to be singers, musicians, or whatever. They want to get into show business. And I'm often asked advice. It's a different time than when it was before. So I'm going to do the best I can with it. Because the reason why I get all of these questions a lot, because a lot of people, I was a disc jockey, and but that doesn't diminish my knowledge on entertainment. It's just that I just don't play the records anymore. But people often ask, how do I get into this? What do I do? What I do? Well, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to be a singer, you want to be an actor, you want to be a musician, anything like that in show business, whatever your niche is, you got to pick it out for yourself. Now, once you find what it is, I say, for instance, if you want to be a singer, right, and you want to sing with a band or anything like that, a musician, if you want to do one of those things, you got your niche going, you have the talent, obviously, maybe, hopefully that you do have the talent for it. And if you're phenomenal, who knows what will happen? It's no guarantee, because the people with great talent, there are a lot of people with great talent that should be out there or that out there. There are people with no talent that are out there and make it big. It's weird, I know, but it's the truth. One of the things, once you get your act together on that and you found what you were looking for in terms of your, let's say we're talking about singing, if you're a vocalist, try to, I know you're going to imitate someone, your favorite person, you're going to try to imitate them, which is nothing wrong with that, because that's how you learn. We all did that. The thing is that you don't want to stay there too long, because if you do, then you're going to still be in the same rut that you were in when you first started. My advice to people who want to do that, please be aware It's a long and winding road. It's a long and winding road. There are people who are going to criticize you. There are going to people who are going to reject you. You can be in the business for 20 years and get rejection. I was talking to a person, I'm not going to mention any names, and she's in show business, she in her own right in show business, but she can't seem to really get off the ground. And so she asked me, can you play my records? Well, I said, well, I can't play your records because I don't play music anymore, but she had, she got into a band, and she got into the band was pretty nice. And she showed me some of her videos and things like that. And I looked at her videos. I said, that's very, very impressive. But I said, let me just tell you something. I just want you to be aware of this, that there are a lot of people out there that are going to surprise you, or you may get surprised by them telling you, I'm going to make you a star. Now, let me tell you about that. If someone ever tells you, I'm going to make you a star, run the other way, get out of Dodge, get out of there. All right. Because there's always a motive for that. And so what you want to do is find someone that's going to care about you, someone that's going to show interest in you and your talent, generally show interest with you and your talent. And once you find that, you start cutting your demos and you do that. But again, sometimes you're going to be rejected, and you're going to be working hard, and you're going to be working hard. And this particular person I'm talking about did all kinds of great videos. And I told her, I said, look, it's a good video. I said, whatever you do, be very, very careful. And while you guys are listening, be very, very careful how you market yourself. Very careful how you market yourself, because if you take the wrong road, people can use that against you. People could steal your material. And it's happened in show business a lot. I've seen it happen a lot. And this person went on her social media and made reference about it, and she started crying about it. And she said, I worked hard on it, and I don't know what to do anymore. I tried this and I tried that, and they're not playing my videos, they're not playing my records when I put them out there. It's going to take a while. It's going to take a long while sometimes. Sometimes you're an overnight sensation, which I have my reservations about overnight sensation, because, you want to work. You want to make sure that you're polished and well groomed when you get out there. And don't take everything so personal. Even today, here I am. I'm 50 years in this business, and and I'm still getting hit and punched, getting hit in the face. After 50 years, that's the nature of the business. So do your thing, but please be aware that it's not going to be an easy road. It's not going to be an easy road. Don't cry about it. Don't throw a temper tantrum. And most important thing, try to stay away from being a diva, okay? Don't be a diva. It's not going to work. It may work for some people, but you're going to see a lot of people are not going to take liking to that. If you look into the business of people who are acting, you ever notice some, I don't want to mention names, people who turn out to be divas, and you see they don't work anymore? Because sometimes Hollywood don't take kindly to that. People are hard to work with in the studio. People are late for gigs. People don't show up for their gigs, and people are so demanding about their salary. Take it slow, because when you get to a point in your career, you could slowly but surely, demand a few things. But you do it in a way where it's going to be diplomatic, because people will like you better. If you turn out to be a diva and you turn out to be so demanding and you feel that everything is owed to you and hell with everybody else, then no one is going to want you. And I could say that until I'm blue in the face, but no one is going to listen to that. Not everybody is going to listen to that. So try to stay on the narrow road. And if you have any further questions, you could always email me, or you could call, leave a message on the number that I gave you and the email address, and I will certainly try my best to answer all your questions. It's a long road. Show business is a long road, and I've done it for a long time. And you'll meet some great people, and then again, you meet some bad people. And stay away from the people, again, who will promise you things. It's not good. If you want to know more about that, just let me know. I'll be able to help you. But right now, I am going to give you those movies of the week, all of my picks of the week. And I watch them on Turner Classic Movies, And do you know that picking all of these movies I add them to your bucket list of movies, what to watch. Now, you may do something other on the weekend, other than whatever you want to do. And you may want to use part of that weekend to catch up on some movies. So I do have some for you. So let's get started with some right away. Let's go back to 1957. 1957, here's a great movie called Angry Men. You're going to like this movie. I love it. Angry Men, starring Henry Fonda, Lee J. Cobb, and Ed Begley, along with E.G. Marshall. And I'm not going to tell you all about the movies, but it's about these guys who were part of a jury in court. And they had to figure out whether they're going to convict this particular person or let him fly. And that's all I'm going to say about that. But the name of the movie is called 12 Angry Men. And that's on Turner Classic Movies, and you can check that out. But it's like in the middle of the night. So if you don't get a chance to watch it in real time, you can always DVR it. It's on Saturday, Friday night, Saturday morning at 2 a.m. Eastern. All right. Again, you may be up. A lot of people like to stay up all night and watch movies, and have a little snack. And but if you can DVR it and watch it at your own convenience. That's 12 Angry Men. Here's another one that I like. I'm not going to mention all of the stars there because it's a chock full of them. It's a Mad, 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 Mad World from 1963. I'll give you some of the people who are on there from the top of my head. You had Spencer Tracy. Let's see. Ethel Merman was in it. Mickey Rooney, Milton Berle, Phil Silver, Don Knotts. I mean, I can go on and on. They were all there. Anyway, I don't have the time to name all of the people that were on there, but it's a funny movie. It's great. And it's on Turner Classic Movies, and you can see that Saturday afternoon at 5 p.m. Eastern, and right there on Turner Classic Movie. It's a mad, 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 mad world. It's a long movie too, so get the popcorn, peanuts, and Cracker Jacks, and get with it. All right. Also, we have Casablanca from 1942, starring Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman, and that's on Saturday at 8 p.m. Saturday night is a great time to watch these movies. That's Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eastern. I give I'm talking Eastern because that's where I'm from, Eastern, and but you have to you may be someplace else in another time zone, so just check accordingly. I'm Eastern, and maybe you're on the West Coast. All right, so that would bring you 3 hours behind me. Okay, so there you go. So you have Casablanca, and then here's another one also called Jezebel. Jezebel from 1935, starring Bette Davis and Henry Fonda. She's got those Bette Davis eyes, and that's on Turner Classic Movies too. And you can check that out Saturday at 5 p.m. Eastern. Okay, I don't know why or is it Sunday? I'm gonna have to double check on that. It might be Sunday. I don't know. I'm going to double check on that. But I will have the right one tomorrow. But as far as this goes, it's Jezebel. That's Bette Davis, Henry Fonda, Turner Classic Movies, and that's Saturday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And last but not least, and this is an all-women's cast. This is called The Women from 1939, starring Joan Crawford and Rosalind Russell. And that's on Turner Classic Movies. But this is Sunday at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. And I'm pretty sure you're going to like all of these movies. These are all classic movies. And I hope you get a chance to watch them all. It's time for me to go. I had a good time, but I will be back on tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Brian Kent will be with me. We'll have sports. and it's called the Coffee Hour. We'll be here 10:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. I hope that you'll be here too. We'll have conversation and coffee and donuts and the whole 9 yards together. Other than that, I'll be back here next Thursday at 8 p.m. for more of Talk Back Live, Brian Camp with Sports, and of course, YouTube as well. We thank you so much for being along, ladies and gentlemen. Until the next time we meet, you have a great morning, good afternoon, good evening, and a good night. Bye-bye.
You've been watching Talk Back Live with your host Frank Allen. The producer is Al Dale. Technical assistant Dave Taylor. Research by Sandy Pierce. And I'm your announcer Donna Stenke. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time on Talk Back Live.